Hey guys, Ray here, and I wanted to make a quick video for a new product that has just been released by Radu Hahayano and Todd Gross called Designo. Now what this is a design program right inside your browser. Now the cool thing about this is that we've seen many of these products that have come out, and quite honestly, some of them have been pretty good, but none of them have really been able to do everything you want to do with design. This is a totally different animal, and I'm going to show you all that in just a second. This essentially has much of the power and usability of a program like Photoshop, yet is actually still easy enough to use for people who've never used something like Photoshop. And the way it works is like this. You can see here they've actually got select a template, easy edit, export and share. And you start off by selecting a category here. So for instance, I want to create, let's say, a button. So I click this and you'll see that button templates are right inside of here. Now you don't have to start with a template. You can go in and create something completely from scratch. But in this case, I'm going to choose a template. That way we can do this nice and easy. So let's say we want to do this one here. We're going to click on this. You'll see it brings it into a Photoshop-like interface in here. And in this case, we've got the button and we've got a background. Now for me, I don't want this background, so I'm going to get rid of it. And now you can see this checkerboard pattern. And what that means is that this is a cutout object. So this checkerboard pattern is essentially invisible. And that way you can export this as a PNG and just have the button without any background in it. Okay, so now we can come in here and we can select elements. So for instance, this one here, and if we move it around, you'll see that it just moves around like any object would. Same thing with any of the other ones. Let's move that up just a touch. Same thing with any of these here. So you can come with the arrow, you can come and get the circle, you can come and get this blue box. Again, the words. And to change text, all you have to do is double click and just type in what you want. Now the cool thing about this is not only can you type what you want, but you've actually got a ton of different fonts you can use. So you can come in here and you can see, you know, and I believe this is based off of how many fonts are on your system. So you may not have as many as I do, because I have a ridiculous amount inside of my my computer. So you can come in here and you can change this to another font. That's a terrible font, but we're going to leave it for now. You can come in here. You can actually move any of these things around. You can also resize them if you want that arrow to be a little bit bigger. If you want to rotate it, you can rotate it just like so. Okay. Oh, that's not quite perfect. Let's move it with our, you can use your arrow keys to move it over and up. So it works very, very much like Photoshop. And unlike other programs that we've really liked that have done similar type of work, this one is, I mean, it's a step above. It really has a Photoshop or Illustrator-like feel to it, yet it's still easy to use. So for instance, with this one here, we don't like the color blue. We want this to be green. And as simple as that, we've now got green buttons. We want the text to be a different color. Just come in here and choose a different color. Now, you may be thinking, well, that's not a lot of colors to choose from, and that's true. However, you can come over here to our little tool, our color tool, and you can choose any color you want. So you can come in and you can adjust this infinitely. So if you want purple, but you want it to be kind of this purpley pink color, hit OK, and now you got a purpley pink one. Uh-oh, I don't like that. Let's go back to green. Very, very easy to set this up. Now it's also got an eyedropper tool. So for instance, let's say you have a template where there's a blue part here and you like that blue. Well, you can click on that. And obviously we're not going to see, you can see the green in here right now. So let's pick this black and you'll see now our chosen color is black. And so now when we create new things, we have that as our chosen color. Behind this is an outline color. Okay, and you can see the outline here. So if we wanted to change that to, let's say we want that to be you know, kind of a dark bluish green, we can do that, hit OK. And now anything that we use the background color for, you can't really see it here. It's a very thin line, but it's actually that color now instead of the color that we had before. Once again, we want the front color to be green. Well, we can come over here and we can choose green again. Oh, actually, let's choose the front color. Choose green, and boom, now we got green again. Now, I actually chose the outline to be green as well there, so you can see the difference here between here and here. That's because we just changed that. It's very, very small. It's going to be very tough to see in the video, but there is a slight edge to this that you can kind of see there. That's a different color now. Now, on top of that, you can add anything that you want from your own collections. And of course, we've got bonuses with lots of great graphics that you can add. If you want to add a graphic to anything, you can come in here and choose something from your hard drive. So for instance, if I wanted to add this flower for whatever reason, I can do that. I can resize it like so, any size that we want, and we can even make sure that it stays in the right aspect ratio by holding our Shift key. And so let's say we want to get rid of our circle and we want to get rid of our arrow and we want to put a flower in here instead. Well, we can do that just like so. Very easy to do that. And of course, we can also add in built-in symbols. So we've got basic symbols, objects, different types of symbols in here, arrows, flowcharts, nature, cards and chess, dialogue balloons, music, weather, user interface, social media, and people. So for instance, let's say that our button is actually a find us on LinkedIn. Well, we could choose this LinkedIn and we could bring that in here just like so. Should have drawn it inside that box. Get rid of our flower. And now this is a join us on LinkedIn button, or get it now on LinkedIn, just like so. Again, you want that to be a different color? Just choose the dropper, and now it's a different color. Very, very easy to do this. Again, you can come in here, you can play with some of these. If you want to make a black outline, you can see it's now got a black outline around it. You decide you don't like the outline, you can always get rid of that. You can always zoom in on anything that you're doing, or zoom out. And this, again, if you have any Photoshop experience, this works very, very similarly to Photoshop. Need to add more text, use the text tool, come in here, and add your text, just like so. Now you'll notice, actually, when we do our text here, you'll see that the text itself is white, and it's outlined by gray, because we have white and we have gray. And of course, we can get rid of any of that or change any of that just by coming in here, hitting OK, and now you can, it's hard to see now, but it's actually white without the gray. In fact, let's move it down here, you can see. Okay, so that's how this works. Very, very simple, very easy to use. You want to get rid of anything, by the way, when it's selected, just hit delete, it'll go away. You've also got the ability to create shapes like squares and rectangles. Again, you can delete those just like so. So up here, you can do any sort of undoing, copying, pasting, duplicating. You can also add templates to this. You can adjust the order of things by bringing them to front, back, in layers. You can share to Facebook once you're done. You can go back to your templates. You can also use Pixabay images. So if you hit add image, you can actually search for, let's say, a car. And let's see, there we go. So you got some cars in here. These are directly from Pixabay. If you don't know Pixabay, Pixabay is a site that gives you free images, completely royalty free. So if you wanted to use a car in your image or in your design here, you could do that by simply finding one that you like. So let's say we like this one here. Bring that in. Resize this down a little bit. And you could make a kind of a fun design. You can adjust the order to this by bringing this to back, having the button in front of it, and then you could always move the button into a different part of the image, you know, make something like this, just like so, and just adjust this infinitely until it's exactly how you like it. Now with this, we've also got a bunch more stock images that we've given you, stock graphics that we've given you. All of these things can be used inside of here very, very easily. And again, this is very Photoshop-like, and I even told them the other day, I said, when I was using this, I said, this is the first program where, as somebody who's been using Photoshop for 20 years, I don't feel like I'm stepping down by using this. This is actually a very usable software. I don't feel like I'm suddenly using a kiddie tool. This is a very powerful tool that works extremely well, and I think anybody who wants to be able to create graphics, this is going to be something that you're going to want to take a look at. And if we go back out here, we're going to go back out to the templates. We're just going to get rid of this here. We're going to take a look at some of the other things in here. So for instance, you've got flyers. Okay. So all of these flyers are built in here. And by the way, this works at a basic level with vector graphics. So you can resize these infinitely. Obviously, if you start bringing in things like PNGs and adding them to them, or images and adding them to them, that's going to change some of the resolution when you go to print things out. But the graphics themselves that are created in here are based off of vectors, So they can be as large as a billboard and still look great, or they can be as small as a banner on a website and still look great. So here are the flyers. We've got infographics in here. Very, very cool stuff. We've got book covers. Okay, so you can actually design your own book cover. We've got business cards. Okay. We've got Facebook covers, which everybody always loves. We've got social buckets. We've got banners. We've got badges. We don't need no stinking badges. We've got, I know you're all thinking, what the heck? All right, we got cartoons in here. We've got quotes. And these are very nice. You can put a nice little quote in any of these. They look very nice. And by the way, don't overlook this. I put out quotes on Instagram every day, and boy, oh boy, those things get a ton of response. Buttons we already looked at. Pricing tables. So if you need to make a pricing table for your website, this is a great place to do that. CD covers, just like so. And then headers. These are website headers. And of course, our personal favorite, YouTube covers. Got to make the YouTube covers so that you can get the custom URL these days. Great place to do that. They've got logos built in, so you can kind of create your own logos out of here. Got promotions, just like so. We got buy now buttons. So these are the more traditional kind. Love that. We got call outs. Okay. We got hand-drawn stuff. We've got web elements. So these are very, very cool for creating a website. This is probably something that I'm actually going to use quite a bit because I'm always looking for things like this or this to add in as icons and whatnot. So I love that. That's great. You've got offline banners, just like so. So that's kind of cool for some of the local business stuff. We've got Twitter covers. Okay, you can take a look at those. We've got Facebook posts. We've got the other Facebook post size. And we've got Facebook posts, the tall ones. And so all of that built right in here. Plus you can create things from scratch. So tremendous program. Designo, it starts today. So this is something you're definitely going to want to look at. And of course, like I said, we've got a lot of great bonuses, including graphics and things that you can use inside of here. So I hope you take a look at this. If you have any questions, of course, please feel free to let me know. I'll be glad to answer them for you.